Hello, Twin Flames, and welcome back to God Conscious Twin Flames 1111. My name is Pamela, and I'm here to give you your weekend reading update for today, June 8th, through the weekend, June 10th. I prayed over, meditated. I did a long meditation today and shuffled the deck. It's actually quite late today because first thing this morning I had an opportunity to go out and learn how to paddleboard, and I had such a blast being out on the open ocean and to just really meditate out there and get clear on what was going on with me. As I shared with you yesterday, I had a lot of intense energies going through me, and it was a mixture of sadness, a little bit of anger, just uncertainties, and I prayed for them to be cleared. And the beautiful thing that happened was, God works all things out for the good of everybody, particularly those of us that work really hard in building that relationship with the divine, which is me and all of you. And so there was a bit of a shake-up within me that really required me to get clear, to get honest with myself, with what was still lingering as weeds around my heart, and to clear some of the stuff of the divine journey. So sometimes I forget that I pick up on what's going on in the collective, and sometimes it takes a little longer for me to realize that it is partially mine, but that it is really, it's expounded by what's going on with the collective. And since I have devoted and dedicated my life to this journey, I did pray over that today and ask the divine if this is exactly where he wants me, and so far it seems this is it. I will be doing readings on another channel for the general population in the coming weeks. I don't know exactly when. I really have to get caught up in all the work that has been put before me, like getting the Facebook page up and running. I cannot do live videos anymore from this channel because of a video that I put up that was blank that got flagged as being inappropriate. So I will put the link below to the other channel that I have, and you can decide if you want to subscribe, and I will start doing live videos from there. I can be honest and say it has been overwhelming, the amount of work that I need to do based on not having enough hours in the day to do it and stay somewhat sane. So just bear with me as this builds. You're with me, my loyal followers. I thank you. My new subscribers, I thank you. I appreciate you. All of those that have commented, thank you for your honesty. Somebody noticed that the reading from yesterday, she apparently was the 111th viewer of that video, and she made sure to let me know that. Thank you for that, because I got that message while I was in a prayer service last night, which was really a praise and worship service, which was just amazing, and it was exactly what I needed. So what I had gone through, to sum it up in the spiritual terms, is that God was, he cannot put new wine in an old wineskin. So the clearing was really to make me new again, so that he could pour wine into me, so that I could be a clear vessel, and that there are new things in store. So maybe that's why the birthing of these new ideas is coming. My fears are not allowed to play into it, though I feel overwhelmed. I know that the divine will make all things possible for the kingdom of God to which I work for. So again, I want to thank you. Today we are listening to Clear Your Mind, healing tone, boost positive energy, third eye activation by Zen Life. So it is a Salveggio, and I think it's 963 hertz frequency for clearing the mind. And for relaxation. So those that have been with me know that this helps me connect with the angels and the guides, so that when I do give you the reading, that they are kind of whispering in my ear and in my heart, in ways in which for me to give you the clear view reading. Today's reading was also quite powerful, though we're a little bit late. Please forgive me. I have my little book here. From Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. I will put a link up there. I apologize, I haven't been able to do it. It's devotions for every day of the year, enjoying peace in His presence, for June 8th. I want you to be all mine, filled with the light of my presence. I gave everything for you by living as a man, then dying for your sins and living again. Hold back nothing from me. Bring your most secret thoughts into the light of my love. Anything you bring to me, I transform and cleanse from darkness. I know everything about you, far more than you know of yourself. But I restrain my yearning to fix you, waiting instead for you to come to me for help. Imagine the divine restraint this requires. For I have all power in heaven and on earth. Seek my face with a teachable spirit. Come into my presence with thanksgiving, desiring to be transformed. And there's several Bible verses with this, but the one that I was led to for today was Psalm 104. Enter into His gates of thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Be thankful to Him and bless His name. For the Lord is good, His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endures to all generations. So us in our humanness have this desire to fix everything. We want to fix ourselves, we want to fix our divine masculine, we want to fix the divine partnership, we want to fix our kids, our parents, our friends. And I was taught that God is a perfect gentleman. He doesn't go anywhere where He isn't invited. And I aspire to be more like Jesus on my walk every day. And my desire is just to be a vessel. I can't fix the problems of the world, but I can certainly be an assurance of what it feels like to not be okay, and the knowledge that this is simply a learning device to get us to the next best thing that Divine has in store for us, because He has this 30,000 foot view. He's already gone before us, and He's already examined the territory. So He already knows where it is that we're going if we are just willing to follow Him. So one of my clients yesterday shared with me that she had gotten a message from the Divine, and she actually followed through with the message, and that the peace that overcame her surpassed all understanding. And that's kind of what my hope is, to encourage you who get to watch this, is that you start to work from the inner core, from the divine guidance, from your intuitive selves, rather than from your ego selves. Being that we have both as parts of us, and we will engage in parts of us, in those parts of us, the engagement in the ego pursuits, pride, the loneliness, and the way we act out in those things lessens over time. Lessons, L-E-S-S-E-N-S, lessons over time, as they are presented as lessons, S-O-N-S. And I think that you could see that in your own life, that when you acted out in a certain way, you had a certain reaction from somebody. And as you matured and developed, the reactions that you got from people were somewhat lessened. And if they weren't, you didn't take them quite as personally. And that's really kind of part of the development process on the spiritual journey, is that we don't take things as personally as we once did. So I hope that that is helpful for some of you, if not all of you. It is my prayer that that you gain some tidbits of hope, information, even if it feels a little bit condemning. That's the spiritual meat, really, as opposed to the spiritual milk. I'm not here to fix you, but if something feels like it grieved you, then that's something that may need to come up for healing. And I pray that you are healed as you present it to God and your angels or your guides for that purpose. So I'm going to go into the reading. On the left is the Divine Masculine with the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti. On the right is the Gilded Tarot, but also by Ciro Marchetti. These are my favorite decks to work from, and I will do a message at the end from the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart, and I'll shuffle those shortly. But I want to get through this because this is kind of what's been going on this week, with a more clear view, with more clarity actually, for what's happening with the Divine Masculine. The overall energy is the Page of Cups for the Divine Masculine, and it's a young energy. This is depicted as a female, so he's learning about this emotional side of himself, and learning from emotional experiences, and trying to approach situations from the heart is the advice of this card, if it's not what's happening right now. That's the overall energy that you may want to pray over, that the Divine Masculine learn to be flexible and trying to find a new way of relating with the Divine Feminine and with people in general. So he's very emotionally immature, vulnerable at this point. He may have used an old emotional experience. I think that based on what the reading is telling me, he did use an old emotional experience. Maybe he stopped communicating again. Maybe he did something to hurt you. Maybe he said something to hurt you. And yesterday we had a lot of communication that appeared that it was either that he couldn't have it with you, or that he had it and it wasn't quite as beneficial for the greater good, I guess, if you want to say it that way. Or it was really, him clearing through the karmic way of communicating in his ego self. There is a lot of the ego energy still very present here for the Divine Masculine today. So we're going to start with the Four of Cups, where he is in a dissatisfied state of mind, focused on the lack, looking dreamy at this cup that isn't quite on the earth yet, kind of fantasizing of what that could be. The energy overall is his inability to appreciate what is available to him, and that might be you, Divine Feminine. So don't take it personally. It is the ego dying to self kind of energy is what I'm hearing. He is desiring to better his life, but because he's still acting in an immature fashion, in the ego fashion, he is making some errors and some choices that are not so positive. He wants to be in the star energy by seeking the naked truth, gaining clarity and quieting the mind. He has not mastered the art of quieting the mind. He still runs these circles in his head, as is evidenced by his positioning here. So this is kind of like what he needs to do to get the home position correct. This is where he's at. So he has been caught up in his own thoughts, and he thinks he can fix this in his own mind, and this is how he's going to fix it. And the fix is typically what we would refer to as a run. And in the run, He knows that that's not the answer, but he doesn't know how to stop doing it. That's where the immature energy, that's why he has this immature energy right now. That's his position right now, is that he is really just in anguish and in pain, identifying with the ego mind. The truth is obscured from him because he has run thoughts on how he's going to fix this and how he can run away from this divine love energy. The unexpected card is the Three of Coins. And in going through this energy here of feeling the lack, it's kind of it is teaching him, and he wants to gain mastery over, whether he realizes it or not. He's trying to gain mastery and knowledge. He's trying to attain it. Some of the divine masculines have, but this energy is telling me that many of them have not, and that they're still trying to master it, and they're still trying to master it in their own strength. And when we do anything in our own strength, this is what happens. We do not invite God and the angels in and really go from intuitive and just be still and let them, work through or be patient. Then we act out in ways that would cause us to be in anguish, to be in pain. The Chariot is the unexpected, the outcome card. And there's some chaos with this. Either he's going with a purpose, but unfortunately at this stage it's the purpose of the ego mind. He wants to fulfill his heart's desires, but he's gonna he's running right now in the energy of youthful and inexperienced, pride and arrogance, even anger caused by insecurities, believing in his own abilities to succeed. So the energy overall that I'm getting for this is that there is foolhardiness, but there is this one element here that is the subconscious mind, which is the be still, the seeking the naked truth, the clarity, the quieting of the mind, which he has not yet mastered, and he hasn't been able to get to that hope stage of seeing what the next appropriate step is. That he still runs in this youthful, inexperienced energy. But this is present. So this is saying he's trying to get to this calm state of mind, to make realistic and take logical steps. But his logic is still run. There's a lack of balance, and it is still run by the emotions and the intellect. So the intellect kicks in when the feeling of love shows up. This can't be. I got to get away from it. It reminds me of the past. It's just negative. I don't believe in any of this stuff. I'm just going to start new somewhere else. Potentially. Some have engaged in it. Some are thinking about it. They're contemplating this. Is this it? Is this really it? I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I think that there's more out there. I'm going to just focus on what I think is out there. And Page of Cups. That young energy. So he's going through, yesterday, the energy was, if he's going through this and you can't wait, that's understandable. Do what you have to do to keep yourself in the positive energy. And when I get to your reading, you're going to see that. You're going to see what I mean on do you. So he's a knight, and he's pursuing his passions in a way that's going to cause a tower. It's going to cause the tower energy. So he's in this youthful energy. He's going to act out on that youthful energy. We can see all that, and it's going to create a tower moment where everything comes crashing down. So that's where the divine masculine energy is. At this point, I'd like to move on to what's going on with the feminine You have a lot of mastery cards in here, Divine Feminine. The energy at the bottom of is basically, excuse me, you have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as your overall energy. So the effort needed to maintain balance, because you sense this going on over there. Maybe you've spoken to him and you've seen it going on over there. You need to maintain your balance. You cannot let those energies throw you off. You have to stand in your power. You too have the Four of Cups. So you both have it. They show up just slightly differently, but you're both in a dreamy state. But this is the energy that could be coming through. They're showing up in both of your decks, so you're the mirroring of it. But your dreaminess is kind of is so similar. You might even be thinking there's something on the other side, that this isn't it for me. And but the difference between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine is that you're not, some of you, they corrected me, some of you are not pursuing it in the ego. You're going into the moon energy. You're going into the moon energy. So it's interesting how they had me pull up the bottom of the deck for him at the end and for you at the beginning, because they want you to see where you guys are mirroring each other. And also, this is coming from the Divine. Yours has just reach out to the hand of the Divine rather than the missing cup. Reach out to the hand of the Divine. Isn't that, I mean, he's just dreaming and isn't reaching out to anything. Neither are you here, but you don't see the hand. He doesn't see a hand in that, where you've already matured to the level to being able to see the hand. So, so reach for the hand of the Divine. The Two of Pentacles energy as your overall energy is, what's helping you is that you have the Ace of Swords as your first card. Victory and triumph over difficulties. So don't focus on the difficulties, because God has already won those battles for you. It's already done. Keep your focus on what is next, which is the Ace of Wands, is your creative pursuits. Maybe you had the idea to go to an entirely new way of life. Follow the idea to go for that new way of life. Go for the newness rather than for what you already know. Be uncomfortable in the unknown than being uncomfortable in what's known. They're encouraging you. You already have the inner strength and the great reserve of inner strength, by way of, oops, I hit that with the excitement. Right here, you have this already. You have this great reserve of inner strength. The Ace of Wands is saying, pursue this. This could be, for some of you, a new business venture, a new career. This has shown up quite a bit over the last month. Pursue this. Keep your focus on this and not on the Divine Masculine. I think I said that to you yesterday. I think I say that to you a lot, because when we focus on that, that's the devil's way of getting us back down in the dumps. And you have come way too far, and you have too many things working in your favor. You have new beginnings. This is victory and triumph. So the war has already been won. So were all the little battles. They're won. Your job is to know that, to have and maintain the clarity of thought that you have the ability to overcome setbacks and adversity. Any setbacks, any adversity that shows up on your path, you have that inner strength, and that you can focus on a new beginning. You can focus on a new way of life. The excitement and energy surrounding these cards, both in the newness and the beginning, and they're assuring you that you have what it takes to maintain the balance. You just needed a little reminder, is what the angels are saying. So the unexpected in the King of Swords is you really want to state your beliefs in authoritative fashion. You want to state your beliefs and your attitudes. Just be authoritative. The angels are buzzing my ear. Yes, be authoritative. Whether it's to the Divine Masculine or to a boss, you can do this in a way that holds your peace, that is in integrity, that is backed by your wisdom, and that of the divine. I always suggest praying when you have to go in for one of these kinds of conversations. But the unexpected is that you're going to actually do that, and you're going to see the benefit of that. You're actually going to do this and see the benefit. Maybe you already have, and you saw the benefit of, wow, the world didn't come crashing down when I spoke my truth. I might have been sweating, and my stomach might have been a mess, and my neck was tense, and it was a fight or flight moment. But when you stay in your integrity, you stay in your truth, and you stay in you, that's where you build up that authoritative self-confidence. Not the ego confidence, but the self-confidence. And that might be unexpected for some of you. But that's what you've been working toward. Because in your position, you have the world again. You had the world yesterday, and you have the world. Your hard work it should be felt within you, and you will be rewarded if you haven't already. You can and have to appreciate all that you've done, all that you are, and all your beauty, and all your gifts and fruits of the Spirit, all that you have nurtured. The Wheel of Fortune is your outcome. So you have the world and the Wheel of Fortune. This is a mature energy. Take advantage of what the Wheel of Fortune is presenting to you right now. You have the victories already won for you. You have a new adventure, or a new idea, maybe a new creative idea that they're saying, pursue it. Go forward with it. Don't be afraid. You have what it takes to have the world. And yesterday I said the world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. It is. It is. You are prepared for what is coming to you. You've already worked hard for it. The divine wants to give it to you, but he wants to make sure that you are... He's not holding anything back from you, is what I'm hearing. He's not holding back from you. He wants to give it to you. You are way past the page energies, Divine Feminine. So if this means that you have to wait, which is what was suggested yesterday, some 6 months, some a year, some a little less, some a little longer, just do what makes you feel good. And don't worry about this. And yesterday I talked about some of you are moving on to new relationships and looking for new relationships. And that's okay, because if the divine puts somebody on your path, that's another opportunity to expand your personhood, your belief system. You do not know what you have to teach that person that may be, even though it's not a divine partner, you don't know what you have to teach that person or what that person has to teach you. Now, I'm not advocating that you just go out and find any Joe Schmo, whether you're a male or female. What I am advocating for is there's somebody that you happen to have struck an interest in, go for it, because that's going to be some of the divine masculine. When they do that, or they have done that, they still have more to learn. They're a page energy. Some female, some divine feminines. Now, for some of you, this might be reversed. Maybe it's some of the divine feminine that are going through this side, and this is the divine masculine. So, you got to take what resonates with you energetically, depending on where you are on your journey. The messages are advice to encourage and to kind of give you some direction when you are walking down the road that may cause pain. You don't know it until after you've done it, and that's experience, and then that develops the wisdom. So you can't kick yourself in the butt for it, or you can't kick him in the butt for it either, because he's got to go through it. But if you have a heart's desire to pursue a new relationship, then I encourage that you do. So I'm going to just pull from the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart card for the Divine Collective. And I have my angel answers there as well. We'll see what comes of this. So the overall energy for the Divine Masculine is he's very much in a learning energy of emotions. He's still battling with the thoughts and his intellect. They're very, very smart. Sometimes too smart for their own good. And they really don't know how to not be so smart. They use their logic to keep them away from love. And that's kind of what we have witnessed time and time again. And a lot of us have suffered through that. They use their intellect and their logic over love. And that's just kind of the energy. For some of them, not for all of them. Some of them may have gotten through that. But, you know, there's layers to the onion. And I say that because there's layers. We are like layers of an onion. I mean, even the clearing that I had gone through over the last 24 hours, there were layers. And God wants me to be the purest vessel, the newest wineskin, so that when He pours the wine in, that what I pour out is fruitful, is loving, is generous, is kind, is the dominating thought. And I'm inspired. I just turned that off for a minute. Some notes from this preacher came in from out of town, and he was just amazing. The mission will yield to your dimension. God will only fill you to what you are capable of. So if you're feeling stretched, what was the overall message? If you're feeling stretched beyond your capacity, that is because there is new things being filled inside of you. It's asking you to enlarge your tent. I am the dwelling place of the Lord. So we want to take God out of a box. We want to make sure that He's in the center of our heart. We want to expand upon our faith. Your current faith cannot contain tomorrow's promise. How powerful of a message is that? Don't let your guess contain God's goodness. So the prayer that I have right now is, Lord, make me an empty vessel so I can receive all that you have for me. I don't want to put God in a box. I don't want to put this twin flame journey in a box. I don't want to put my divine partner in a box, my divine masculine. I don't want to put you guys in a box. I want you to expand yourselves. I want you to stretch beyond. Stretch to the outside requires stretching on the inside. Stretch your insides. Let God expand you. And sometimes it feels painful. A rubber band is only useful when it's stretched. That was one of the messages I got from that pastor yesterday. Be that rubber band. Allow yourself to be stretched. Allow yourself to be made new again. Forget everything that you think you know and just come into this every day as a new vessel. That's why these messages are daily, because every day it's a new experience. And although my messages have been late, they're probably right on time. You're going to see this when you're meant to, and you're going to get what you need when you need it. So don't worry about if the timing is off, or if this is a month old and you're just watching it, because this is exactly what is needed when it is needed. And the bottom of the deck is the crown chakra, and the feeling alone was underneath that. And they're asking you to release and to spread your wings. They told me to go to the bottom of the deck today. So your crown chakra. Some of you are feeling very much alone. I think we had this yesterday. That's good. Use that time wisely. Feeling alone is another opportunity for God to get in there, for you to reach out to Him. That's the best way for Him to get the messages through to you, is when you just feel hopeless. Because then you're done exercising all your thoughts and ideas, and you are open to what He has to offer. And then release it to Him and to the angels. Release all the pain surrounding your heart. Just release it and let them heal you. And then spread your wings. Spread your wings. You have this new beginning. Go and do it. Like I did in Florida. I spread my wings, and everything is just flowing, and it's so powerful. And I did have feelings of being alone, and I did have feelings of being stretched, and I was even stretched this week. So violet is the crown chakra. We had that color yesterday. Yesterday was indigo and violet. So they want you to keep expanding your intuition and releasing the ego. releasing the ego, so that your clear thoughts, and that you know that you know that you know that this is all from God. It's located, the crown chakra is located at the top of your head. The 1,000-petaled lotus, or the receiver of light. This chakra is the center of the link with the universe, the infinite, and your higher consciousness. It's the connection between wisdom and spiritual insight. The crown center is the area where ethereal lights and energy are received and then dispersed throughout your aura for total well-being. To enhance this chakra, sit quietly and visualize a lotus bud on top of your head. As the bud blossoms, see a shower of whitish violet sparkling light shining down from the universe onto the lotus, filling and nourishing it. When complete, simply let the vision fade. Expanding this chakra opens you to receiving the ultimate bliss, divine love. Take comfort in knowing that you are cherished. So it says, expand, stretch. Your faith is being stretched. Your wings are being stretched so that you can release that which no longer serves you, and that you can be opened up to have all this love filled into your soul, your body, down to your tippy toes. So thank you for watching today. Wow, I feel actually set free from this reading. And I hope you do too. You have a lot, Divine Feminines going on, Divine Masculines. You've got a lot of work to do. We pray for you that you go through this, and not try to stop it. That you get out of the mind and get into the heart space, get into the intuitive knowing, get into the God knowing. If this reading resonated with you and you feel so called to donate, the link is below. If you would like your own personal reading for more clear guidance on your personal journey, divine guidance, feel free to click one of the links below. I would be happy to assist you on your journey. I love you. I'm sending you peace and blessings to all my soul family out there, and blessings. Worldly blessings and supernatural blessings to you all.